Alright, what's going on, dudes, and welcome to part 2 of our look at Minecraft Snapshot 12W38. If you missed part 1, you can find it annotated up in the corner, so you can go back and watch if you want. Otherwise, let's get going. So, you probably noticed back in part 1 that there was a bat flying around near the end of the video. So bats are a new passive mob that has been added. We're on peaceful right now, and there were a few flying around just a few seconds ago because I spawned a bunch, but I guess they all fluttered away. But wait! Horror movie scene reenactments! Oh my god, bats are flying out everywhere. So you may see back in the back of the house there, you've got some bats hanging by their feet because bats sleep hanging by their feet. So naturally they will spawn in dark caves, so underground, in mountains, etc., etc. And they will sleep during the day because bats are nocturnal. So we've got the bats sleeping in here. When I go in, I'll startle them and they start fluttering all around. And off they go. Now, they will still fly around during the day, but naturally they will sleep in their caves during the day, and then if you startle them, they will come out, and or they will come out at night, regardless, and fly around. Again, peaceful mode. They won't attack you even if you punch them, and I think they're meant to be cute. They kind of are. They're not like scary flesh-eating bats that you'd see in horror movies or anything like that. So anyway, with Halloween coming up, a lot of the changes that Mojang is adding are Halloween related. So we'll get to just another in a couple minutes. All right, so just another minor change is that the beacon block has been retextured / remodeled since it is a 3D block. And the animation for it has also been adjusted. So no longer is it just a beam of light. It also has this animation. You can kind of see more clearly. It's two rings of flat planes sort of spinning around in circles in opposite directions. So that's new. Now there's also been a small change to the way that log placement works. So I'm sure a lot of you remember a while back horizontal logs were implemented into the game. And the way that you would actually place down horizontal logs is by simply standing at an acute enough angle to the ground to where if you placed it like so, it would actually be horizontal. That's been changed because, as you'll notice, when I just placed that down, it's still vertical. It looks normal as it always had in the past. Now the way it works is it's been updated so that the log will be placed depending upon if the surface is vertical or horizontal and what direction it's facing. So if we place the log here, it's going to be horizontal facing us in each direction here. So you just sort of have a more definite way to know what direction and or what orientation your log is going to be when you place it down. Anyway, pretty small change, and it's not necessarily going to be implemented. It's just sort of a test to see how people like it. So perhaps the most significant addition to this snapshot is something that's also Halloween themed, and that is witches. So as of right now, they can only be spawned in creative via a spawn egg. However, I'm sure in the upcoming snapshots, they'll be implemented into survival and they'll spawn under certain conditions. It would make sense if they were at a village, perhaps, I don't know, protecting the village from, I don't know, us? Because I don't think they're hostile to other mobs. So anyway, perhaps the Tessificates have grown weary of us raiding their villages, and they've suddenly hired protection from us, as opposed to just mobs in the form of iron golems. So anyway, let's place her down. Doesn't look like a female much, and she has a nasty little wart on her nose, because she's a witch, and witches have warts, and her nose moves around. Oh, a little bit of hair might make her a little bit more feminine, but I guess then again, witches aren't supposed to be attractive, so to say. Anyway, let's switch on over into survival really quickly. So she'll begin to attack us. Oh, you just failed miserably in your aim. Anyway, she'll throw out potions of poison, potions of, there we go, you just got hit, potions of slowness, potions of instant harming. She just tries to kill you with potions, is the gist of it, and she's pretty good at it. So let's quickly switch on back into creative or else we're gonna die. And we'll just go ahead and kill her really quickly. So if you actually attack her, she'll bring out this bottle and she'll try to regen her own health. So she is self-sustaining, so to speak. But if we go ahead and kill her, nothing really happens. She doesn't drop anything as of yet. Again, that'll probably be implemented in the near future. But witches, pretty cool. Kind of something different, but it should be fun. as something Halloween themed to follow in the footsteps of the original Halloween update that was 2 years ago where they added the Nether. So anyway, now let's move on to something else which is Nether related, which is pretty simple. It's just that in creative mode, when you jump on through a portal, it's now instantaneous. You no longer wait through the animation. Poor bats. It looks like we had some bats fly through the portal and one of them just killed himself. Oh, poor guy. So anyway, Nether travel is now instantaneous. There's no animation. That's just going to be limited to survival because that, as you might expect, is there to be a potential danger, potential hazard to you when you're being chased by mobs. So you have to have that delay before taking refuge in the Nether, which is not really a good place to take refuge in to start with. But anyway, and then one other change in regards to Nether portals, which I'm going to try to recreate here. You may notice some arrows that are there. That's because I was trying to get this to work earlier. So apparently now when you shoot an arrow or anything, any entity that has momentum through a portal, it will carry that momentum on out to the other side. So I'm just going to shoot some arrows through here, and hopefully when I go back through the portal, you'll notice a scatter pattern of arrows on the ground in front of the portal. Again, I don't know how well this is going to work, but it's worth a shot. I did get it to go just a little while ago, so hopefully I'll be able to do it once more. Alright, so let's walk on back through the portal, and there you go. So now you'll notice that before I picked up those arrows, they actually carried a bit of momentum through the portal, and they landed out in front. So that is new as well. Alright, last but not least, we have some additions to the functionality of command blocks. So if we put down a command block, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to demonstrate this super effectively because I'm the only one in this world, but if I were in multiplayer, it would be a bit better, so I'm just going to explain it. So there's now an additional command that's not listed below the field that's @F. @F refers to the player that is farthest away from the command block. So if you're in an adventure map with a bunch of other friends, you could use the &F command to give, teleport, do whatever to the person who's actually farthest away from your command block. Additionally, you can now program coordinates in. So say you wanted to do something, do an action to a person who was nearest to a certain coordinate or within a certain range of a coordinate. You can now say you wanted to give something to that person, /give @P, and then within brackets, you do your X, Y, and Z. So say we wanted to give something to the person closest to 200, 64, 300, and within a 20 block radius of that. Your fourth field is going to be for your radius. Then, if you did that, and then put in, I don't know, 64 or 54, 1, that would give the person closest to that coordinate 54, 1 of data value 54. I don't know what data value 54 is off the top of my head, but anyway, that's how that works. So, new updates with the command block system. And again, command blocks gonna be super awesome for adventure maps when the new Minecraft version is fully released. So, anyway, that's about gonna do it for this snapshot. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, a rating would be much appreciated. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.